Hey, what's up guys? Tim here. Got another tutorial for you today, and this is on the King Mummy lanyard. Now I did do a tutorial for the kind of standard size smaller mummy, and I did briefly show the King Mummy in that tutorial, but I didn't actually teach you guys how to do it, so I figured I'd go through it once at least for you guys in case you want to make one. So here it is. Just want to give you guys a close-up look at it first. It's just a gutted paracord, and as you can tell, it's just the Solomon stitch. And it's got a lanyard loop at the bottom here. You can loop it onto whatever you wish. And it uses these kind of hand-carved Nyato wood skull beads. Talk about those in a second. Alright, but that being said, let's get into the tutorial. Okay, so I got my paracord ready here. Got about 6.5 feet. I'd say you want to use around 6.5 to 7 feet depending on the length of the lanyard loop that you want to make for your King Mummy lanyard. Anyways, I've got that, and before we get started, you're going to want to gut your paracord. If you've never done that before, I can show you now. So you see I've got two ends here. One is kind of open and the ends are fraying out like that. The other end is fused. You want to make sure both ends are like this, like the ends cut off. So we're going to take our one end here. I'm just going to cut the end off like that. Okay. And we're just going to work the ends out. Okay, I'm just going to pull all my paracord inner strands out. You kind of just have to, work your way through the length. Okay. So I've got all the inner strands out now. And I'd suggest you actually just at this point take your lighter and just fuse the ends just so they don't continue to fray. Just going to do that. Okay, this is one end. And then the other end. Just going to do that too. Okay, so now I've got my paracord ready to go here. And then next, for the skull bead. Now, these wooden beads are, you can find them online. And this website I used to buy them from, they're no longer selling them. Apparently, these wooden beads aren't in production anymore. So I believe whatever's out there is all that's left. But I'm sure they're still available. So I'd suggest you go on either eBay or Etsy and look up, I believe these are called Nyato wood beads. And they're all like kind of individually hand carved, so they all look slightly different. And the way they come, there is a little hole on top of the skull, but the way this came, the little hole here was not really wide enough. So what I did was I took my kind of reaming tool here on my Victorinox, and I just kind of scraped out the insides to widen this so that the paracord could fit through. If you don't have a tool like this, you can just use a drill bit or a Dremel or something like that just to widen it and allow the paracord to fit through. Okay, so that's all I did for this. And the next all you need is just one of the pieces of the inner strand that you just pulled out. And you'll see why in a second, okay? So now we can get into making the lanyard. Okay, so to start weaving, we're going to take our paracord. I'm going to double it over here. I've got the middle point. I've got my skull bead here. Now remember that piece of inner strand I told you to save? We're going to take that and we're going to loop it through our paracord here, our gutted paracord. And then I'm going to do that. Now what you're going to do is take these two ends, put them together, and now this is going to allow us to thread our paracord through the the hole here in the skull, because that'll make it a lot easier. So I'm going to take these two ends, I'm going to go through here, and I'm going through the top of the skull, okay, not the bottom, the top, and then you're just going to pull through. Still can be a little tough. If it's too hard to get the paracord through, just continue to widen the hole with whatever tool you're using. Okay, so I've got this through now. So what you're going to do next is you're going to determine how long you want your lanyard loop to be. And there is no rule for how long it has to be. It's all up to you. If you're going to use this for like a knife lanyard or something, I'd suggest giving yourself, I'd say a good, what can we say? A good, maybe 3 inches or so for a lanyard loop. If you want to loop it onto a knife. If not, if it's a zipper pull or whatever, you can just leave yourself a bit less. But it's up to you. So I'm going to give myself about, say about 5 inches from the bottom of the skull here to the end of the loop. But you can adjust that, however you want. Okay, so from here, we can now start weaving our lanyard. So to start weaving, we've got the loop part down here. We've got our skull up top. Now basically it's just the cobra stitch, or Solomon stitch. So I'm going to start with left first. We're going to do left over the core. We're going to bring the right over top of that and through to the other side, like this. Okay, and then we're just going to pull. This first one's a little trickier because it's like essentially going around the skull, like that. And we're just going to continue. Now we're doing the right side for the core, and then left side through, like that. So at this point, you want to pull this tight, kind of push up on the stitch so that it's nice and taut. Okay, like that. Now I'm just going to continue weaving. This is forming the kind of first part of the body of the mummy. And I'm just going to weave about a 2-inch section, and we'll continue from there. So I'm just going to keep going, and then I'll show you the next step. Alright, so I'm done weaving my 2-inch section here. To continue, we're just going to turn the mummy around this, and we're just going to continue weaving back down this way. And you want to continue using the same lead strand. So I know it's this one. So we're going to, again, just do the same thing. It's almost like doing the king cobra weave, just going over top of a regular cobra or Solomon stitch, right, like that. So I'm just going to continue weaving all the way down the body here. I'm just going to go all the way up to this point. Okay, so I'm done weaving the second pass, and to continue, I'll turn the mummy around again. Now if you actually like the way the mummy looks right now, you can stop here. But what I like to do is actually do a third pass, just about maybe a third of the way down, kind of create that illusion like the mummy has shoulders. So yeah, again, just third time, same thing. And we're going to start with our lead strand again. Alright, and that's it. So, as you can see, I did about 4 stitches. So I can see I've got, like, just I guess for symmetry, I've got 1, 2, 1, 2, so 2 knots here on each side, I mean. Okay, so that's about it. Now we're just going to snip and singe the excess off. As you can see, I used up pretty much most of my paracord, and we'll be done. Alright, and there we have it, guys. I'm done. So I snipped and singed off my excess paracord here. See, I got it nicely finished there and there. And I think this looks really great, with those added shoulders. Really creates that look of the mummy. Alright, so that's about it. I think this is a really nice kind of a lanyard you can add to just about anything you can think of. Backpacks, use it as a zipper pull, knife lanyard, whatever you can think of. So I think I've said everything I need to say. If there's any problems or issues, you guys aren't sure of anything, please do leave a comment down below. Be sure to get back to you as soon as I can. Hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next tutorial video. Right, thanks for watching, guys. Bye.